Hello, welcome back to Project Mastery Podcast. Your project is not late because your team is slow. It is late because one hidden why is quietly wrecking your plan. In this episode, I'll show you how to use the 5 why technique, find the real root cause of schedule slippage, and fix it fast. Stop guessing, start asking why. 5 whys is a simple root cause tool. You take a problem like schedule is slipping and you ask why repeatedly until you reach a cause you can actually control. In project management, this prevents the classic trap, blaming people instead of fixing the system, requirements, dependencies, approvals, estimates, and ups. 5 whys means root cause, not symptoms. Important rule, don't use 5 whys to attack people, use it to improve the process. And don't stop at the first answer because the developer was late is not a root cause, that is a symptom. We'll take an example here. Let's take up a problem statement. Testing is late. System testing is 8 days late. We will ask the first question, why? Why is system testing late? Because development delivered modules late. We'll ask the next question, why? Why did development deliver modules late? Because we had reworked from changed requirements. We'll ask the next why. Why did requirements change? Because stakeholders review details only after the first demo. We'll ask the next why, which is the fourth why. Why did they review only after the demo? Because the requirements workshop did not include the right approvers. We are asking the last why. Why weren't the right approvers included? Because our stakeholders map and RCA for approvals was not defined clearly. So the root cause is not testing team is slow, it is missing early approval ownership, a governance gap. This is a RCA gap. We need to convert root cause into actions, which are basically corrective actions and preventive actions. As part of corrective action, lock a change control rule, no requirement changes without impact review. Add an approval checkpoint before build completion. As part of preventive action, create RCA for requirement approval in initiating or planning stage. Run a requirement workshop with named approvers. Add a definition of ready for requirements. When we talk about fix includes both corrective and preventive actions. There are 3 answers that sound like root causes, but they are not. People were busy. Why were they busy? Not enough time. Why was the estimate wrong? Dependencies. Which dependency? Why unmanaged? Avoid statements like busy or no time or dependencies. You have to go a step deeper. You need to understand the difference between symptoms and root causes. A quick quiz here. Your schedule slipped because vendor delivery was late. Is that a root cause? What is going to be the answer here? Yes, let's stop here. Or you want to ask why the vendor was late. Or you want to escalate immediately, move on. Or add overtime to recover. The answer is going to be B. You need to ask why late. Contract terms or lead terms or approval delays or unclear specs or missing buffers or vendor selection. Here's a simple 5 whys template. You start with the problem statement. Problem statement needs to be specific and measurable. Block the problem to one clear fact so the team does not argue feelings. Write it like this. What is late plus by how much plus where plus since when plus impact. Let me repeat this. What is late and by how much and where and since when and the impact. Format could be deliverable is 5 days late versus baseline as of today impacting the particular milestone. System testing started 8 days late versus baseline, which is August 10th, and the actual is August 18th, putting go live at a risk by 1 week. This is the problem statement. Avoid vague terms like we are behind. The second step is you're going with the 5 whys. Move from symptom to process or system cause. Ask one why at a time. Each answer must be a cause, not a blame statement. If the answer is because X, ask why did X happen? Why late? Development delivered modules late. Why development late? Rework due to requirement changes. Why requirement change? Approvers reviewed after demo. Why reviewed late? Approvers not included in the workshop. Why not included? RCA approval not defined. Stop early if you hit the real controllable cause 3 to 4 whys. 5 is a guideline, not a rule. The next step we are talking about is evidence for each why. Prevent opinions and he said or she said terms. This is what makes it professional. What counts evidence? Baseline versus actual dates, MS project or Jira timeline, change request, approval timestamps, emails, meeting minutes, confirming decisions, defect count, rework hours, block time, vendor lead times, PO dates, handoff logs. Why number 2? Evidence. CR Not 7, approved on August 16th, added scope. 18 user stories reopened, Jira links, plus 42 development hours a lot. If you have no evidence, mark it as an assumption and validate. The next is root cause, something you can control. Land on a cause you can fix through process, planning, governance, or design. A good root cause is specific, actionable, within your influence. Example of strong root causes: approval ownership not defined early, RCA missing, causing late requirement validation rework. Dependency integration was not planned with handoff criteria, causing repeated retesting. Weak root cause is something like team is slow, client changes mind. Those are symptoms. You still need what you control. Actions refer to correct, preventive, plus ownership plus due date. Convert the root cause into execution. PMO loves this because it's accountability and control. Take corrective actions, which means you have to fix it now. Immediate steps to recover the current schedule. Run approval workshop with named approvers. Free scope for sprint X unless CR with impact analysis. Add interim integration checkpoint this week. Preventive actions means you need to stop the repeat. Process upgrades to prevent the same slip next time. Add RACI for approvals initiating. DOD for requirements including approval sign-off. Add schedule buffer for external approvals plus vendor lead time. Always include owner, one person who is accountable, and the due date. You can also add a success metric, which is optional but powerful. Example, reduce rework from requirement changes by 50% next release. Next time your project slips, don't panic, diagnose. The 5 whys turn chaos into clarity. We have come to the end of the podcast. Hope the knowledge is valuable. Thank you for tuning in.